to the Storm and the Ricky at any point. But then at the same time, I look over to 5RATFORCESTAFF, and I think the panel made some good points about them, like not necessarily having the best control. Storm is going to provide some, and obviously the Ricky Shard minute 15 and onward, but until that point, the heroes on the Dire are kind of free to run however they want. So if their lanes go well, I foresee Felt having decent farm, just controlling the triangle, getting a big TA, and ramping up for a strong mid game.
I'm kind of with you on that. It's going to be a rather interesting game. Of course, the panel did talk about the fact as well that, I mean, you've got this speed Timbersaw, and he does tend to perform really well when it comes to this hero. Free Storm Spirit game by the sounds of it as well here for 5RAT. Let's see what happens. I mean, both teams are trying to, obviously kind of desperate to get these wins because they are hanging around the bottom side of the group stage right now. So you're, or rather the bracket, so you'd rather not lose this series if you can avoid it. As they do run into each other here, Felt.
Yeah, they're going to find Giant. All right, clutch D-ward there. Both of them hitting at the same time. So Kits with a bit of a head start. I think he did share that experience 4 ways, though. So this is something to keep in mind here. When you're 4 heroes sharing that D-ward experience, you lose 2 experience. Did you know?
Oh. Well, there you go.
Because the ward gives 50, and whenever you share experience, it rounds down. So they each got 12. It wasn't 2 got 12 and 2 got 13. Because like the Steam Marketplace, there is a cut. We can't give them the full value. When it's shared, there's a loss.
Life, death, and taxes is, I believe, what you're trying to say here. And oh, that's rough.
Decent damage from Moose here. Oh, good. I thought for a second we were watching a new series, but here we are. Welcome back to Lodine, playing the Pango in mid.
He's a mid player now.
Yeah, he's standing in. He wanted some extra games today.
Yep.
And he's playing on his good old PC. So, yeah. Curious to see how this top lane plays out. I think this dual lane from 5RATFORCESTAFF is really weird on paper. Timber plus Ricky don't have any inherent obvious synergies. Ricky has a bit of a slow on his Blink Strike that Timber can do damage in, but against TA, she just doesn't care because she can activate Refraction when Timber is about to chain in, and then she doesn't take damage. So, yeah. I think this should be, on paper, a really good lane for TA. And then at the same time, Timber should also be able to farm. So both heroes are probably going to do okay. Mid lane is Storm favored. Not by an absolute landslide, but he should win. And in the bottom lane, Abaddon Undying against Mirana Centaur.
Yes.
That's a 5-red lane, I think. Yeah. Undying is just going to keep decay spamming the Centaur, and Abaddon will win on CS. And if Mirana ever poses a threat to Giant somehow, just throw an Aphotic Shield on him when he gets arrowed, and it's whatever.
It is practically whatever.
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, maybe they mess up a little bit with the Aphotic Shield. Who the hell knows? I mean, you're kind of hoping for that if you are Felt right now in this bottom lane. Still, what scares me here for the side of Felt is like this Abaddon timing, because it does feel like once you have the man turn to blink up, this Abaddon just becomes an absolute terror, and naturally you also go for the Radiance build up. You know how it is right now, as they are going to go for a stun out. DNM, he did not have the Aphotic Shield available that time around, but it won't matter. They didn't have the follow-up arrow either. So he'll be just fine.
Yeah, it's actually an interesting matchup, right? The Abaddon against TA, because I feel like historically speaking, that would be a matchup that's really good for TA. She's one of the heroes that can very quickly, and he's a nice arrow there from Solji, that can very easily force the Abaddon ulti to be activated by like two-shotting him. But when Abaddons are played carry like this and they go for the Radiance Manta build, you have a hero that's exceptionally good at breaking refraction charges, and once TA gets silenced, she is in a world of hurt. So this matchup is not like inherently obvious like that, but there still is the possibility that, you know, one of the heroes is an S-tier farmer and the other one just frankly isn't, right? Yeah. So if both carries are farming, I think TA can usually offset that matchup by just raw gold, being an item ahead. And that's probably what you're aiming for if you are hit immune in this game.
That's fair. Speaking of hit immune right now, top of the CS board, 8-4, or was anyway, as Albino Zebra. Bit of a chase there from Speed, not going to amount to too much. I do wonder what kind of build-up Moose goes for, and I say I wonder. I do imagine it's probably going to be the Meteor Hammer Shard build-up again.
I don't know if you can afford it as a 4. Because the times that we've seen the Shard Hammer be effective is we saw Moo buy it as a 3 Ricky, and I think in when you play it as a 3, you get the hammer at a really good timing. It's not that you can't get the 2 items as a 4, Ricky, but you can't get the hammer first and then have the shard minute 15, right? You're not going to make that amount of gold. So if you do want the hammer, I think the shard is too important, and you're going to buy it first. And then maybe the hammer comes out at minute 20, and then the question is it worth it at minute 20 anymore?
That's a fair point.
Because it is a very timing-based item, right? It has its value on certain heroes because you use it as a pseudo-Midas almost on supports, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think 4 Ricky is not quite what it was a few weeks ago.
No.
I'm curious to see what Moose's read is. Maybe, on the flip side, your perspective is, well, the dart got nerfed so much that you actually buy the hammer so that you have impact with that instead.
That's fair.
Don't know.
The way I thought about it was you get hammer and then later on the shard because at least you have a bit of a farming tool for Moose, but...
Yeah, but then you're just... I don't know, man. Like, is your hero even good?
Well,
if you get the shards, let's say minute 20 or minute 22, the reason shard was so incredibly good is that you get that minute 15, and at the time you get the shard, a lot of enemy heroes don't have the tools to deal with it yet. But if you push that timing by like 5 to 10 minutes, all of a sudden multiple heroes will have like BKB or Manta or Lotus Orbs or whatever, and a big part of your heroes lost. And that is obviously on top of the fact that the item itself has been nerfed significantly, right? It has way shorter cast range, so you're way more likely to get found and dealt with when you try to use it.
yeah.
Good damage here from Speed onto Albino Zebra.
Certainly so. Moose had a bit of a rough time, by the way, at that top lane. He got caught by Albino Zebra just trying to chase a courier, lost his own courier in the meantime, and then had to TP back to the fountain and make a walk of shame back up top. So it was a pretty rough affair for the Ricky, nevertheless. Other lanes seem to be going fairly evenly. Mid lane currently slightly favoring Red 2, but nothing to really write home about as Kits is only like 3 CS behind him. I suppose the Fear, I believe, did mention as well, it should be a very free kind of Storm lane as well.
Yeah. Storm just farms in this lane, and if you're making a little bit too aggressive movements on the Pango, you can get punished. But I think Kits is well in the know about how this matchup works, and he's just playing it very nice and safe, getting his farm without overexposing himself too much to getting pulled into Remnants, and he's poking and prodding wherever he can. I think, just as a theoretical matchup, Pango's goal in this lane is to farm. I don't think his goal is to deny. I don't think his goal is to pressure the Storm. All of those are like extra luxuries, especially if you get rotations from your supports, but as long as you get your own, it's fine. You know, the enemy team did counterpick you after all.
Absolutely.
So, and he's doing just fine on the Pango. 27 CS minute 5 is great on this hero.
Fade dropping very low down at bottom lane now, the Centaur. To be somewhat cautious. Like, these decays are being extremely annoying towards the Centaur, of course.
He is closing in on Vanguard, though, and you just have this feeling that when this item comes out, I honestly think he can play alone.
Moose?
Oh.
He's hanging around.
Nice stomp D ward there from Fade.
Certainly so, and seems like Fade's just going to get away, and so will Solji. At least for now, though Moose is still wrapping around trying to find this Mirana.
What's happening?
I'm not sure, because he can't really kill him, can he?
No.
And you've got Smokescreen, but
I don't know. The Mirana has 2 Fairy Fires. I mean, obviously they can't use them immediately back to back, but maybe with this bait set up from Giant trying to... No, it's still not going to happen. Maybe.
Oh.
No, they didn't time it with the Aphotic Shield timing out. Maybe. Oh, no.
Oh. He's all right.
Yeah, so here's the good news for Felt in this lane. Centaur has Vanguard, and I think Abaddon Undying can't do anything to him with this. Abaddon's damage is predominantly physical, just attacks building up over time. Your Vanguard is going to negate more than half of that. You have amazing regen at this point. So what this does is it frees up Solji to do whatever he wants now, and you actually see this communication coming out just through their plays, right? The moment the Vanguard is picked up, Solji's out of there. And I think he's just stop playing the bottom lane entirely. Let Centaur get solo experience. He's going to farm just fine on his own. Go stack camps, go roam, get runes, try to find a cheeky arrow mid that gives a kill to your Pango. Whatever it is. And Kits.
Oh, he's going to go for the roll. Oh, nice smoke screen. Moose just in time. Red 2 able to secure the kill, and that's a nice impact from Moose. Like, sure, you mess up the bottom kill, but who the hell cares? You get the mid lane. Meanwhile, Speed copped a meld strike, literally took 0 damage.
Yeah, this is This is a kind of fun mirror situation, right? Where neither offlaner seems killable at all for the 1v2. So that means the Riki is going to leave top as he did a while ago, and the Mirana is going to leave bottom as she did a while ago. And these two invincible tanks are just going to sit there and get farm. Well, okay, if Storm rotates, Fade might be... I don't think he's going to die.
We always appreciate the curse from Synderen.
He could stampede here.
He does. Zip is there. Red, one more is available. Oh, the retaliate.
This. No, he didn't. He had fair.
He lands a stomp. Run, Fade.
Told you he was going to live. Obviously. Yeah, that raindrop was actually important. He would have died to the Photic Shield popping there, but...
Mers. He's in trouble. Tricks the trade to the high ground. Kits will have a swash. Does nice connect nicely.
Nice read.
No, you see, it's funny because you were here to assassinate me.
So, I mean, there was a phase in Dota that this was really common. It's not that long ago that offlaners that were really meta were the ones that could just be left alone. And it creates this interesting dynamic where the rest of the map suddenly kind of, shrinks because the play zone for all the other 4 heroes is now limited to 2 lanes, or actually rather 1 lane, right? Like there's going to be a lot of action around mid, a lot of action around the runes. Or you need to do this and bring serious numbers to try to kill speed. All right,
speed.
They'll get him, I promise.
Yeah. I mean, I think you're right this time around. Speed is going to go down. Nice pick up here. Nice rotation by Kit. Is Fade in trouble bot lane? But can they at least trade? It doesn't. I mean, Red is running. No, never mind. They're not going to even try. Sag.
Nice warning from Moose here. This is what you usually see Riki do when he hits level 6, but Moose has taken the opportunity to walk into the enemy triangle and place an offensive ward. Storm is one of the absolute best heroes in the game at utilizing offensive warding because he can solo kill heroes that are statically farming camps very, very effectively. So later on, if TA is farming an ancient stack and is like half health, Storm can just jump her from a distance and one-shot her out of fog for her, so she'll have no idea it's coming. In the same vein, that's the way you could kill Pango if he's farming over here. So that ward has a good chance of coming in handy. And if nothing else, they're going to see the stacks happening and then they can like plan a smoke assault or whatever if they want to. Currently, speaking of smoking, they're looking at top, but well, that did nothing.
No,
effectively. Well, they got the rune.
They did.
Okay, maybe they're going to get something.
They may. In fact, Hidden Immune sticking around here. This could be a bit dangerous, though. Speed is around the corner. These refraction charges won't last. Arrow, though's just taken by Speed. Rolling Thunder now out from Kits. All right, they'll turn it.
Wait, how did he die to a neutral?
Wait, what?
Yeah, Albino Zebra died to the neutral. The Smashers just walked over and clapped him.
Wow.
What aggroed them? Psyblades?
I mean,
I don't know. That was very fortunate for the side of Felt.
Replay time?
That was interesting that he just found some friends in the jungle.
Here's a replay. Let's see what happened.
And you know what friends do? They give you a good pat on the back. So here they come.
Oh, it was Speed. He chained through the neutrals. Speed, what are you doing?
They were on a mission. There was no hesitation whatsoever. Just ran over there and slapped them on the back of the head. Well, it's all right. Cool. You know, do your thing, Hellbears.
Only in an ADPC.
Yeah. Oh, good glimpse.
Certainly is. Red. Pretty low on mana, but has enough.
Yeah. Drains him quite well, though. The fact that he has to walk back to base is... Is he going to, or is he going to farm the big camp here? He could use his stick charges to get a little bit of value here. Oh, maybe he doesn't even need to. Oh, he did. Okay. Left the broom handle, though. He didn't see it.
Uh-oh.
That is not great. By chance, Solji could actually run into that broom handle right now. But he is busy farming another stack that the Radiant made. Mirana as a position 4 with this kind of levels can actually, you know, be pretty efficient here. But, I mean, it's pretty daring of him to do that in the vision of the outpost, though. Like, Storm could have literally just come over and killed him if you realize, well, now it might happen, all right? Solji still...
they're the ones that want to aggress, it seems. They're feeling rather confident, but...
Yeah, clearly.
Red 2 will take the haste. He's all right.
The biggest winner in all of this is Hit Immune. It's what we talked about, right? The Radiant don't have very good ways of catching. It's only really the Storm until Riki gets shards. So their other heroes are just posturing really aggressively on the map, and TA gets to play however she wants. We're talking absolute total free farm. He has 10 CS per minute currently, 128. And the second highest in the game is 90 on the Storm. So
that's rough.
That is the TA versus Abaddon, right? Like, Abaddon just can't do this. It doesn't matter how perfectly you play the game as Abaddon, you can't have this amount of farm. So the raw gold advantage will be going Hitammune's way. The Deso will be complete in a mere 250 gold. Deso, Dragonlance, minute 13 will be complete. And the world's his oyster, right? He can choose to keep farming, he can look to fight if he wants to, because he has a really good supporting cast to play offensive TA with. TA loves to play with stuns. They have Centaur Stomp into Arrow, they have Glimpse into Pango ult. As long as the things connect, and they don't fight into Abaddon and Aphotic Shield, it's a very high probability the kills are just going to work out. Moose is going to walk up. There is a sentry.
Whoopsie daisies.
He's dead. 1, 2, 3. Ah, okay.
Albino takes. I mean, why not?
It was his sentry ward.
Yeah, that's true.
I think this is fair. As a support, unbiased support player, I think that was a support kill.
Tell my carries that, Syndrome.
Yes. Now, go farm the stacks I made you in the jungle. So I get more gold.
1 to 5 now, 3k advantage. I mean, you kind of put it out. Like, props to DNM. Like, he's not too far behind when you compare him against the TA.
Yeah, he's farming pretty effectively for an Abaddon. 100 CS minute 14 is not too shabby.
Hey, we'll speed up
Solid.
as well soon. Radiance is coming out rather soon, as we are going to see Giant tank the gank here. So you get the Radiance up, then your farm escalates a little bit. Like, probably still not as fast as a TA, but you're getting there. You're giving yourself a chance.
This item just picked up by Pango is actually extra important in this game than usual, I think. There's a couple of reasons why Diffusal is really good here. When you're playing against Ricky, this hero's mana pool is atrocious, and everything he does is extremely mana intensive relative to his total mana. So if you hit a Swashbuckle on Ricky, he's running out of mana.
Oh.
He has 339, right? And his spells combined cost like 200 to cast. It's also a really good tool against Abaddon. This hero hates running out of mana. It's very important that you can keep casting your spell. And you are always going to be... That's the biggest thing for Abaddon, is that you're frontlining the whole game. So you're always just going to be in Swashbuckle range, right? Every time you kill a creep wave, Pango can just Swashbuckle you and laugh all the way to the bank, right?
Right.
He just does it for free all the time, and you run out of mana, and then you're annoyed. And there's a little bit of an extra added benefit against the Storm, but that's a little bit more niche, whether that becomes a kill or not because he runs out of mana or something.
Moves.
Oh, Glimpse, yep.
You might just be running out of life.
Got Tricks.
But Tricks of the Trade is there.
Yep.
Just fine.
It's just a very quiet game from 5RAT. It feels like they're not doing anything, you know?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it, to be honest, is just dictated by draft, and that's what I didn't really like too much about their lineup, is that it feels very much like it's a less fair strat, okay? You guys do whatever you want. We're all farming, but
Yeah.
the problem is you're not better than them at farming, so they don't care. They're just like, okay, you know?
I guess so.
You guys want to farm? We'll farm better. So that is honestly a little bit concerning for them, is when do they flick the switch? When can they do something that puts pressure? Is it the Ricky Shard that has now been picked up by Moose? Is that going to be the turning point here? You're just conceding your mid tower for nothing. What are you going to do if Felt goes Roche? Are you going to try then? Or are you going to give that up as well? Because I think if I'm Felt here, I just go Roche. Like, what are you going to do? You put sentries against the Ricky. If the Radiant try to run in there and fight you, you can stampede out and place a Static Storm and win, right? So there we go. Pango with the disarm and double damage. TA with the Deso and Meld Strike. This is a Radiant team that's playing not to lose, right? Finally, the smoke now comes out. This play has to work. Dart.
Is there. They caught the Mirana. That's something. They haven't got him yet, though. The Stampede is out, and now the turnaround with the Rolling Thunder. Speed's getting locked down constantly. Forced to chain away, but they've left DNM alone. He'll run. Glimpse is back. Red 2's going to jump in, but a Static Storm going to lock him down. He'll walk out of range, but it won't matter. Hoof Stop is there. Speed is still trying to chain away, but he is not making it. Oh, completely outplayed is the side of 5RAT. That's a rough team fight.
Yeah, it's hard to execute it as red too, right? Because as we've talked about, you have Ricky Dart as your only other catch. He throws out the Mirana mid-leap, so she gets away. And a Storm, you're always second-guessing yourself. You're like, should I jump now or not? If I jump, I can get static stormed. If I get Thunderstruck and Glimpse, that's a problem. And most importantly, who do you jump on? Because your teammates, Timber can only connect if there's trees. Abaddon is inherently slow and needs time to get there. It's just, I think, strategically really difficult to play this Radiant lineup in fights. Maybe you have to farm more, get the Storm the BKB so he can reliably stick. Just get on Disruptor, kill him, maybe chase down Mirana. But the advantage is mounting at this point. TA is closing in on her next item, and look at that, Hit Immune just going full-on greed. Straight into MKB next is the plan, unless he switches it. He has 2 items Quick Bite, to be fair, so could be the BKB if he wants that instead. But
Bino, at least they do find a Disruptor. Stampede was popped. Looks like Fade was trying to turn that fight around, but couldn't. Oh, hold on a minute. Red's out of mana.
He's out of mana, yeah. They're not going to chase, though.
So annoying with this Diffusal Blade on the Pango. Like, he hits it once and the Storm misses, like, just loses half his mana. Not very fun to play against. And suddenly felt, I mean, there's still 6k advantage. This TA is really starting to get out of control. Aegis is up for another 3.5 minutes, so they've got plenty of time to try and make some use out of this.
I think the most important thing for Felt to keep in mind is if they don't ever use Static Storm in the fight, I think that's the best play. You hold it until Storm jumps. That's your #1 priority as Albino Zebra. Because your teammates don't need your Static Storm for anything else. They're going to inherently just win by attacking targets and casting their spells. There's nothing special that needs to happen. There's no like crazy condition where your teammates need the Hoof Stomp to be followed up with a Static Storm. Whatever, just chill. Wait for the Storm. That's your job. If you handle him, you win the game. Until he has BKB.
Oh, nice Stast.
That was very quick from Fade.
Spidey senses.
Not ready for that.
Spidey senses were tingling.
All right, high ground. Bit of damage here. He's going to lose the vision now, though. And screw it. He's back to mid. Okay. Well, Speed just Timber Chained offensively here, but it's Giant who's going to be on the receiving end, unless...
He gets away. Instead, it's Speed now perched up, rolling Thunder.
And a driver. All right, there we go.
It does land. Speed.
Oh, that's good. That's really good timing. And the third, and...
Yeah, bye-bye, Speed.
All right, that's a way bigger kill. They let Giant run. I thought Speed was going to be okay, but Kits with a connection there.
Oh, well, D&M now in trouble. Albino Zebra just needs a bit of vision for the glimpse back and does barely get it with the kinetic field setup, so Fade can try to burn through and get that borrowed time procced, though D&M barely getting away with the Aphotic Shield for now, but there's your Stampede popped. That'll be the borrowed time. Surely they keep going. Though no, they missed the arrow.
Nice play from D&M there. That's a really good TP. It's very hard to predict that he's going to stand in that little nook there and TP from there, so the arrow doesn't get vision and they couldn't glimpse because it was on cooldown. It's a nice escape there from him, but again, finding the bright spots for 5RATFORCESTAFF is down to something like nice, you didn't die, is a problem. You know, we want to see some sort of, all right, well-executed kill, or you made progress on the map, or you got the mid tower, but everything is just coming up.
Moose?
Oh, that is not a good Static Storm. This is actually an avenue potentially for the Radiant, but yeah, Storm wasn't nearby, unfortunately, for 5RAT. That could have been something, because I don't think you can drop the Static Storm like this. Just hold it. Got eager to try to kill the Ricky, but it's not important to get that kill in this way.
That it is not.
But, yep. They weren't ready anyway, 5RAT, so no punish. The Tombstone has been expended as well, so I think 5RATFORCESTAFF are probably just going to chill once again, hit some creeps.
Oh, you say that. Felt, they may not allow it. Tier 2 mid tower is going to go down. Hit Immune takes care of it.
It's just looking too easy for them, isn't it? Like, if your TA can go MKB here while her Aegis is expiring, she feels invincible.
I mean, she practically is, though, isn't she?
This is just very, like, okay, this is what happens in your pub games when TAs feel invincible and then they aren't, and then it sucks.
Red. He's stacking for the other side. They're trying to take them. The Ancient stack, it's absolutely huge. They might at least find the Mirana, but the Rolling Thunder kits right through all of them. Speed's caught out. They've got Hit Immune there for the damage. DNM needs to get to the low ground, but he's trapped. He has to TP, but the glimpse is out. Oh, and they've left all the Ancients just waiting for Hiddenmute to take. Oh, look at it. All that gold. All that XP.
Yeah, Albino's paying. He's like, look, it's ready for you. And Hiddenmute is like, yeah, but I'll get it in a second after I get all of this gold. And this is the right approach, to be honest. This is what, I think there's something to be learned here for a lot of players, that the #1 priority in this situation for TA is not to farm that fat stack, it's to push out the wave, because you're going to get the stack on your way back anyways. This is just a more natural, more efficient rotation where you not only do you get more gold, but you also put more map pressure in the same move, right? Now this bottom wave, instead of being at the corner of the map, is right outside the Radiant base, so now they're on trash duty handling this. And TA, sure, she's going to go. I mean, yeah, okay. I'll take the stack. And now Albino Zebra puts a laugh voice line. He's like, okay, thanks, dude. I need the 100 gold I might get from the stack that I made for you earlier. So that's something. Actually, I don't know who stacked this. It might have been TA herself. I don't think anyone benefit from that. But
one of the stacks was Red himself.
Was Red?
Yeah. Red actually moved in.
Oh, so he stacked it as Storm.
He did. Yes, he did.
Well then.
Once. It happens.
Moose.
Jump in.
Moose. Pick. All right.
Albino Zebra's gone.
It's something. Are they going to get it for free, though, is the question. Moose gets dusted. He's dead.
Yeah, he's certainly gone.
God.
He got stomped.
Oh, that's another satisfying attack right there. Meld Strike feels very good.
It's a nice one. It's a nice one.
And there's a lot of merit to MKB in this game, right? You pierce through the Radiance evasion, you pierce through Smokescreen, mischance. So I definitely understand that he wants to get the MKB. I think if the conditions of this game were slightly different, you have to accept that the BKB is too important. But again, the conditions for the TA in this game are just so flawless that it's unnecessary. Like, you can just go for the greedy build-up first. He will now eventually get the BKB so he can just stick in fights and finish off his targets at will, but this does increasingly look like a very one-sided affair. You imagine the next Aegis will be the potential nail in the coffin, right? Where you get that Aegis, you get the shard for TA, and you push high ground.
That damn voice line.
They're trying to kill me?
Yeah,
it's one of the best ones.
I feel like the voice actor had a bit too much fun with that one. Just knowing how silly it was going to sound. Anyway, Manta is up now in your Abaddon, but it all feels way too late. Like, this TA is well and truly online, and he's picking up a BKB now as well. So that's going to be a 9-second BKB charge on the way very, very soon. And there it is. Speaking of the devil.
Yeah. And this counters the Abaddon Manta, right? So it doesn't... She's that one item ahead that we talked about. Arguably two, right? She's 7,000 net worth ahead minute 25.
Yeah.
So... yeah, the Manta is an issue, but it comes too late, so it doesn't really matter, and Hiddenmute can effectively just blink into 5 heroes. Pop BKB and start killing them if she wants.
Get out of there, sir.
Big damage.
That's a lot of damage.
Glimpse vision?
I mean, they've got other targets. Red 2's going to try and jump in. BKB is popped. Red, he cannot sustain the damage output.
Just get out of here. Like, he gets hit twice by TA and his fight's over. He loses his entire health pool in 2 swings, so...
DNM? Barely avoiding.
And that's the Roche. Can't do anything about it. Storm had to pop BKB and run away because we haven't really talked too much about this, but Storm actually in the fights has to dodge TA attacks. He can't just stick on targets as he wants because TA does so much damage that if she hits him 3 times, he dies from full. So in that case, Red did 2 attacks in the team fight and it was just instantly over. The supports were just dead.
Oh boy. 4-17, 15k advantage. Well, this is one of those games where I feel like the net worth really does mean something.
It very much does.
Yeah. 5RAT, I'm struggling to find an answer for this side as Speed misses a chains there in the mid lane. Luckily, he will not be punished for that. I'm just struggling to find the answer to this TA problem now. Like, what do you do? She's just basically 6-slot at this point.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think killing her once is a challenge. How about twice?
Impossible.
I think you have to try to find some sort of angle where you need to kill the disruptor first somehow. Like, if you go on TA in the front, it's just not going to work. So you have to play on angles, kill supports with your dart into full-on Chakram burst combo with Storm jumping on top. Place a good tombstone so you get vision of the fight, so you can make your educated decisions about who to go on. Arrow. All right, speed reacted to that one.
I mean, they smoked up, but a lot of hesitation from the side of 5RAT as drums are popped. Hidden Immune just going to move back in for the tier 3.
I mean, they're too late, right? Like, if they want to make this move, it needs to be before this tower falls. Now, TA can get an even better position. And then it's also increasingly obvious that this is happening now. They're going to catch them in the back.
Moose is gone. He's caught out. Red trying to do something, but gets Lotus. He vortexes himself into the Rolling Thunder. Oh, it couldn't be much worse. He'll barely get out. But everyone else is dying. DNM's gone. No buyback. Not that it would have made a difference anyway. Onto the top racks they go.
In the words of a famous English teacher, I don't know, John, I think it's over.
Oh. I mean, you gotta... It's this part of the game is where you just start considering calling it, like...
It's just like, imagine playing in this game, right? If you're on the Radiant team. It's just, you felt like you've played 30 minutes and it's like nothing has happened, right? Basically, because the moves you've tried to make have failed, and the majority of the time you haven't tried to make moves because you couldn't. So usually when games are in this state, I don't think this is like a huge skill difference between the teams. It's literally just strategy that has gone wrong, right?
Speed is gone.
Yeah, he's not going to survive.
I mean, he's not gone yet.
He's relatively tanky, actually. Okay.
Actually found the Aegis with that aphotic shield damage.
That worked out way better than I expected. That's something. But always, whenever the Dire want, they can just run away.
Yeah.
So, and I don't think they have to. Sure, you've lost your Aegis now, but the Tombstone is down. You at least force the Glyph now. And I think Hidden Immune is just going to keep poking and prodding here. Here's BKB on his second life. Pango roll is ready. He's in a great position to just roll it up and get in there. Can even force staff if he wants to get in there really fast.
I completely forgot as well the fact that 5RAT actually kicked Albino Zebra before this tour started. So, you know, Albino Zebra having some sweet revenge so far.
It's a good storyline.
Too bad I forgot about it till now.
No, it's also a good storyline.
What's that?
The score of the game.
Oh!
There you go. Twitch chatters rejoice.
It's time, boys.
Sig rip.
Oh, how long is this going to stay on for? I feel like the players just came to a gentleman's agreement. Let's just leave it.
Oh, look at that! A fellow connoisseur of the Twitch chat.
Good on you, Solji.
There it is.
Oh, that's hilarious. They actually did that. It feels like they actually left on purpose. That's amazing. Be a real shame if they lost the game, though. That'd be hilarious.
I'm with you. If they lost this game, that would just be flat out shameful. At this point, that is. Oh my God, he's got a heart on Centaur. I mean, kind of funny. Wait, never mind. Okay, it's a display bug again. I don't know why. I just don't see a lot of stats sometimes. I was like, wow, he has heart, but 4 armor. Well, he doesn't have 4 armor.
No,
I can tell you that much, but it's showing us 4 armor for me.
It shows that for me as well.
He's got 14.
That's a big boy.
Yep. Very big indeed. I mean, you could chill here and wait for Aegis, but it's kind of, that's just the story of the game, right? Felt can just choose. And if there's anything that makes a game of Dota really easy to play, it's that you have every choice all the time. And they're currently choosing to farm, and they have the choice of, all right, Fade. He's like, whatever, man. This game's over. Let's go finish it. He wants to sig rip.
Absolutely, it's time.
And, well, he will take a double Chakram, so Speed has bought the Ag. So a lot of damage upgrades coming the way of 5RAT from that, but unfortunately, they are running out of structures.
They certainly are.
Hidden Immune will poke and prod once again. He's close to Daedalus, by the way. His next item is coming up. There's a little bit of a dart. It will Lotus Force Staff, so counters are in place.
So many traps as well just set up here by our TA, so it's kind of hard to move in. Like, he's just going to be constantly slowed up here by Hidden Immune. Sleeping Dart for him. Vortex, no. BKB wasted.
And Tombstone. All right, I mean, they just used everything, and they didn't start the fight. So that was perfect. They Lotused him, and he insta-blinked away on the opener, and Storm popped BKB to protect himself when jumping in. So now there's no BKB and there's no Tombstone. So 5RAT can effectively not really fight now, and Felt should just get Megas, I think. Just one lane at a time. If they recognize what happened there, mid lane is free, and then you clean up the range tracks in the end, bottom and top.
Oh, they're just waiting mid lane. Nobody going to show into the low ground.
It's going to front line here.
Daedalus up now as well. Fade dropping a little bit low. Moves already gone though on the Ricky.
Got 3-shot.
Very Poggers Giant also gone as well. There goes
Speed.
Speed.
Say very Poggers?
I did. Speed's gone. I mean, you know, this draft though, you kind of said it a few times. Like, what are 5RAT doing? They're not moving as a team. They're not doing really anything with this draft. And there you go. GG's called. Giants had enough. That's a rough one. It just felt like they just never really stood a chance based after that laning stage.
This is the kind of game, you see it play out. You maybe had an idea or two in the drafting stage when you were talking about it as a team, but you're just like, you just forget.